Oh, here. Okay, so what we'll do this evening is a little bit of revision first from what we did last week about asking how to express your intentions, like tsumori, etc., which I'll bring the slide up for in a second. And then we're going to do an exercise where we're going to be listening and creating our own translations from some text that I shall send you. So first, let me just share the screen. So hopefully you remember we did this last week. Well, just a second. Where we would rather than saying nani o shimasu ka, which is quite hard and quite tough and quite direct, we can say things like, what are you planning to do? What do you intend to do? Like these questions down here. And then we should respond as well by saying things like, oh, I'm planning to do this, or I want to do this. I'm intending to do this using these forms here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, I'm just going to slightly rearrange people just a second. Like so. Go on, rearrange. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to ask Roger to ask Tom, what are you going to do tomorrow? Was it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. And Tom will then respond. And then Roger, you're going to translate back and tell us what Tom said. So it's important when you give your answers, guys, that you are using easy to understand Japanese. Okay. Right. Okay. Roger to Tom. Dozo.
Tom-san, 明日は何をするつもりですか？
おじさん、明日が私の家で働きます。
Good. Okay, excellent.
So I think he's working from home.
Yes, that's a pretty good guess. Not too difficult to predict either. Okay, good. Tom to Asha.
アシャさん、明日が何の予定がありますか？
I'm afraid I don't understand. It's still in front of me, the last lesson.
Oh, okay. So what are you planning to do in English, Asha, and then we'll create it together.
I'm planning to play with my daughter.
Okay, let's do this. Hang on. Stop sharing this. Just a second. So go ahead, Asha. Go. Ashita. What's daughter? Do you remember?
Musume.
Yeah, musume. And then with?
Watashi no.
Well, okay. I mean, if you just say musume, then it implies that it's your daughter rather than one that you've stolen from the supermarket.
I understand.
Yeah.
Watashi to.
So
together.
Okay, and then to play, to have leisure time. Asobu. Yeah. Asobu. And then you can finish it with one of these expressions here, like tsumori des. Oh, hang on, sorry, you can't see it now, can you? Give me a second, and I shall post it onto here. Go on. Yeah. There we go. We've got a whole choice of things we can choose from there.
To omoimasu.
Good.
I think I like.
Okay, good. That's it.
but not. It won't be asabu. It will be another form, right?
Oh no. So
No?
so you can either have this as just the infinitive, like it is here, or you can put it into the volitional, like I'm thinking that I shall play with my daughter. So you could say asobo to omoimasu. This is fine as well. Or asobitai to omoimasu. I'm thinking that I'd like to play with my daughter tomorrow. So these are all acceptable ways of doing this. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Asha to Patrick.
Patrick san, ashita nani wo shimasu ka? No.
明日は、家族と一緒に動物園に行くつもりです。
Okay, Asha, what do you think Patrick said?
It was really nice.
Okay, anything at all?
No, I'm afraid.
Okay, Ashta. Sorry, Patrick, can you say it one more time, please?
明日は家族と一緒に動物園に行くつもりです。
Iku tsumori desu. Okay, Asha, what do you think? Can you get anything out of this?
Patrick san would like to do something together with.
Okay, so tomorrow. So kazoku, do you know what kazoku means?
No.
Family.
Family, okay.
With dobutsuen. Dobutsuen.
I don't know, to rest or to have time. I don't know.
Okay, that means
I wouldn't like to guess.
to the zoo. To go. I plan. Like this.
Very good idea.
Yeah. So can you turn this funny sentence into an English one now?
What should I turn into English?
So this English sentence, which is a bit funny, into a real English sentence.
But it's understandable.
Okay. So tomorrow I intend to go to the zoo with my
To
family.
go to the zoo with my family. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, Patrick to Andre.
アンドレさん、明日何をするつもりですか？
明日は時代劇を見ようと思っています。
Okay, Patrick. Any ideas?
Watching historical drama.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Well done. Then Patrick to Annika.
Andre?
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Andre to Annika. Sorry.
はい、アニカさん、明日は何をするでしょうか？
明日は仕事をするつもりです。
Hey, Andre.
So she's planning going to work instead
have
of going to the bar.
Yeah, aren't these people boring? Why don't you just spend the day getting drunk? Nobody cares anymore.
It's a good idea.
It is. It's a perfect idea. Okay, let's go. And then Annika, can you ask Roger?
明日、Roger さん、明日何をつもりですか？
So, 何をするつもりですか？
何をするつもりですか？
明日の夜にテレビで映画を見る予定です。
Okay. Annika?
He wants to watch a film, or he intends to watch a film.
Good.
But which film?
So did you hear by what medium he's going to watch film?
TV.
Okay, and what time during the day?
I guess in the evening.
Okay, Roger, can you say it one more time?
明日の夜にテレビで映画を miru yotai desu.
Annika?
I didn't hear.
Okay, so
No,
Ashita no yoru, which means tomorrow night or tomorrow evening.
night. No,
Yeah.
okay. Mhm.
Yoru. Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. Let's now go the other way. And so we're going to go in the reverse direction this time. And what I'd like you to do is ask each other, what are you planning to do after lockdown has finished? So there are a few ways that you can say after lockdown. You can either say, for example, lockdown no ato de, or you can say when, so that means after lockdown, or you can say when lockdown has finished, which is lockdown ga owattara. Lockdown ga owattara. Okay, let's go with Roger to Annika.
Annika-san, lockdown no ato wa something yotai desu ka?
Nani o suru yotei desu ka?
Nani o suru yotai desu ka?
Lockdown ga owattara. Brussels.
Brajiru.
To Brugge. Ni iku yotai desu.
Oh, sorry, do you mean Belgium?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Brazil.
No, Brussels.
Oh, Brussels.
Brussels, I don't know. Yeah, no, ni yotai desu.
One more time, just the last bit.
Lockdown ga owattara. Brussels.
Brussels. Let's just make it up. Brussels
to Brugge. Ni iku yotai desu.
Good. Okay, Roger.
She wants to go to Brussels.
And there was another location there as well. But we pronounce in Angleterre, we pronounce it a little bit differently. Can you say it again, Annika? What's the other place?
Brugge. Or Brugge.
Bruges,
yeah. Exactly, yes. Good. Excellent. Well done. Good. Okay, and then Annika to Andre.
Andre-san, ashita lockdown ga owattara. Nani wo tsumori desu ka?
Nani o suru tsumori desu ka?
Nani o suru tsumori desu ka?
ロックダウンが終わったら祇園の料亭に行くつもりです。
はい、どうぞ。
Gion.
So Gion is a place in Kyoto where all the geisha are. It's the geisha district of Kyoto. Andres,もう一度お願いします。
はい。祇園の料亭に行くつもりです。
He intends to go to this place, but yeah, after lockdown ends, he intends to go to Gioni.
Ryote. Okay. Andre, can you explain what a ryote is?
Okay, ryote is like a Japanese restaurant, but if I say Gion no ryote, that means it's a place where you can meet a geisha or geiko.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I say Tobita Shinchi no ryote, that means it's a red light district.
Interesting.
He's intending to show off his tofu eating skills in Gion. Okay, Andre to Patrick.
はい、パトリックさん、ロックダウンが終わったら何をするつもりですか？
ロックダウン終わったら、レストランに行って、美味しいものを食べる予定です。
はい、どうぞ。
So he would like to go to a restaurant where he could eat some delicious food.
Yes, maybe some delicious tempura prawn. Okay, good. Patrick to Asha.
アシャさん、ロックダウン終わったら何の予定がありますか？
ロックダウンが終わったら、友達とワインを飲みます。
Oh, so nomu, and then one of these endings that we looked at earlier.
予定です。
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Patrick.
Plans to go drink wine with her friends?
Yes, good. That's the right thing to do. That's what you should do tomorrow as well. Okay, Asha to Tom.
Tom さん、ロックダウンの後で何をするつもりですか？
Did somebody just drop lots of heavy items in your house then, Tom?
I was waiting for the question to finish.
Ah,
Or maybe the sound
delayed.
delayed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Ichiban ski restaurant. Tabemashou yotei desu.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's just quickly look at that a second time. So you said Ichiban ski restaurant. What was the rest of it, Tom?
Tabemashou
Tabemashou
yotei desu.
yotei desu. Okay, so let's just use this as a little example just to make
That
sure we've
was
got
an easy example.
it's a good example. It's just we just take this opportunity to do some practice fault finding our own Japanese. So what kind of adjective is ski, Tom?
No adjective.
Yeah. So what should go after this here?
Na.
Nah, exactly. Yeah. Good. Sim restaurant, and then we need a particle here, don't we?
Ni.
So there's actually a verb here.
So it's de.
Yeah, good. Yes.
Yeah.
And then so this is fine, but this should really be dropped down to the plain form. So not tabemashou, but
Tabeshou.
no. So what do you do with the group 2 verbs to make them the volitional, the let's do something? Do you remember?
We changed. I thought we changed the rule probably. I think it was just mashou.
No. So to make it plain form though, it becomes tabeyo.
Like shio.
Yes. And I have to be a little bit pedantic. Tabeyo yote desu. I don't think yote would fit here because this actually means a plan. This is a kind of solid plan to do something, and then you've got a kind of softish volitional here. So tsumori desu would be fine here. Tsumori, or you could say tabeyo. So tsumori desu, or to omotte imasu. But yote should be really fixed with just the plain dictionary form, just the infinitive. Let's just have a quick look. Annika, go ahead.
So did I understand it right that you can't use these tabeyo or ikimashou thing with every example we had?
No, so let me just show you the examples that I've created. Just a sec. So for yote, this one here, this is the only one this can really go with is with the plain infinitive here, iku yote. Yeah. But iko can go with to omoimasu, to omotemasu, or also tsumori desu, iko tsumori desu. Yeah, you can say iko tsumori desu as well. This is fine.
Okay. So it's not working with every example.
No.
Okay.
No. Basically with to omoimasu, to omotemasu, and iko has iko kamoshiranae. Yeah, just and yeah, with tsumori desu only. Yeah. Okay, great. So Asha, did you get what Tom said? Do you want to say it one more time, Tom?
一番好きなレストランで食べようつもりと思っています。
I don't know. So just one or the other. Just one or the other. So tsumori desu or to omotte imasu.
Take these one. つもりです。
Yes. Okay. Good. So it's going to be either this one, tsumori desu, or to omotte imasu. Okay, Asha, dozo.
Tom-san would like to go to his favorite restaurant.
Excellent. Good. Well done. And then Asha to Roger.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. Tom to Roger.
Roger さん、ロックダウンが終わったら何をするつもりですか？
ロックダウンが終わったら、たくさん友達も大きいパーティーはする予定です。
Yote desu. Yeah. Okay, let's do that again, Roger, one more time.
ロックダウンが終わったら、
Uh-huh.
たくさん友達も大きいパーティーをする予定です。
Yote desu. Okay. So let's just also use this opportunity just to check everything. Takusan tomodachi is fine. And then rather than more, Roger, how do you say with?
で、
No. It's sometimes used as an and.
と、
To, yes. To. Oki party o suru yote desu. Yeah, the rest of it's good. Oki party o suru yote desu. Great. Okay, let's finish that. Okay, good. So what we're going to do, guys, now. Oh, sorry, Roger, did you ask Annika before we on this one? You did. Okay, cool. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you some little assignments. I'm going to send you a paragraph each. They're different paragraphs. And I want you to spend 5 minutes just trying to translate it into Japanese. And then I'm going to ask you to present it back to the group. And then the group is going to try to work out what you're saying. So we're going to try out translating from English to Japanese and then translating back again. So it's important to of course, it's important to make your Japanese as correct as possible, but it's also important to not put in too many complex words or things like this. Try and use the same vocabulary and grammar that we've done so far. I think most of the sentences that most of the paragraphs that I've created, you can just use the grammar that we've done so far without having to resort to anything else. There might be a couple of exceptions, but we'll get by. So just do what you can to translate it. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It's about communicating meaning, which is important, not the correctness of the language. So I can only send this one person at a time, so you'll have to bear with me a second. So let's see. Okay, so Anika, you've got this one, and Asha, you have this one. And then Tom and Roger. Roger, did you do this earlier in the week? And Tom, did you do this earlier in the week?
Yes.
No.
Tom, which one did you do?
Something with a towel and a. That should be enough, I think. Or
I did something with a towel.
I arrived at ... Confirm my ...
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. So it just sounds funny. I did something with a towel. I did Dance of the Five Fans with a towel. Right, Roger.
Excuse me, and this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I got a part of sentence.
Okay. Let me just try it
The
again.
first one. Start from.
Let me send it again. See what. Asha. Okay, can you see that, Asha?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Okay. Roger, I've sent yours, haven't I? Sorry, Roger, which one did you get? Can you just tell me which one you had? Have I sent it to you already?
Yeah.
Which one is, what's the first word of the paragraph?
Next.
Thank you. And Tom, you're getting this one as well. So Roger got this. Tom also got this. And then Patrick and Andre. No, you're not going to get the further adventures of Kenji and Rieko. Okay, Patrick and Andre, do you want one on Sado or Sake?
Okay, I want Sado.
Sado, okay, Sado it is. There we go. Okay, have you all got an assignment? Cool. Okay, I'll give you 5-10 minutes while I order a curry. While I let you think about your assignments, and then we'll come back and have a review. Okay, enjoy. Back in 10 or 5. When you got it back, could you serve me a little bit of beef? Sorry, I should add, guys, if you want to use a dictionary, by all means use a dictionary, but I would avoid using Google Translate as much as possible because it sometimes gives you slightly funky answers, whereas a dictionary will give you something much more standard. This part must be fascinating for anybody who watches these sessions on YouTube afterwards. They're probably spending ages trying to work out what's happened to the sound. Okay, guys, how are we doing? Do you need a few more minutes? Or years, months? Months. Okay, just one more minute, then we'll have a go. Doesn't matter if it's not finished. Okay, let's have a look then. So, Asha, I realise that you're probably the person with the least confidence, but I'm going to kick you out front to go first. Okay?
Yeah, that's a typical. Yes, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill, to kick.
Yeah, drown the weak first.
Right.
Drown the women and children first, so the men can escape.
Exactly.
That worked on the Titanic. It'll work now. Okay, after you.
I have problem with the last sentence. But
Okay.
maybe I should
Yeah.
start from the beginning.
Yeah, that one is a bit tricky.
Hoteru de Sanpaku yoyaku shite imasu. Watashi wa asha. Asa gohan nanji desu ka? Hoteru ni swimming pool wa arimasu ka? And the last one, couldn't put it together.
Yeah, that's a bit more harder one, isn't it? Okay,
Yes,
good.
it was the hardest one.
Actually, can I ask you to come a little bit closer to the microphone and say it again, please?
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard having a life without legs, isn't it?
No, enough space for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, dozo.
I don't know how to start.
Just say what you said to me just now. Just repeat what you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hoteru de Sanpaku yoyaku shite imasu. Watashi wa asha. Asa gohan nanji desu ka? Hoteru ni swimming pool wa arimasu ka?
And then blank. Yeah.
And then blank.
Okay, cool, good. Annika?
I have also a first part of a sentence,
Yep.
so I start with Ohio. San yoru o yoyaku deshita. Watashi wa Anika Kindla desu. Nanji kan shoshoku desu ka? Hoteru ga swimming pool arimasu ka?
Good.
And the last sentence.
It's quite hard, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Annika, can you do it one more time, please?
Ohio.
Good.
Ohio. San yoru o yoyaku deshita. Watashi wa Anika Kindla desu. Nanji kan shoshoku desu ka? Hoteru ga swimming pool arimasu ka?
Good. Okay. Who has heard this one before already on previous exercises? Tom, Patrick, Andre, I think you have, haven't you? Yeah. Roger, have you heard it?
So desperate to say yes on the grounds that otherwise I'm going to get lumbered. Yeah, I'm going to translate it. But...
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. Okay. So what do you think? What was being said in this?
It sounded like arriving into a hotel.
Good. Yeah.
I think they're staying for 3 nights.
Good. Yes.
I think I heard one of them talk about breakfast and asking where the swimming pool was.
Yeah. That's it, I think.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So, Annika, Asha, that was pretty good actually. There were some mistakes in it, but generally I could understand what you were saying. So, what we'll do is at the end of this whole session, we'll go over these paragraphs and we'll try and create a a fairly simple and effective translation. But we'll use what you've made so far into that. Okay, good. Let's go to Tom, and then Roger.
来年、エジプトに行く予定です。一度前、20年の前に行きました。2月の前にワクチンをさればように出発前に赤いの海でスクーバダイビングする予定です。そのところはとっても静かで綺麗けど読みました。
Good. Okay, good. And Roger? Sorry, actually, Tom, can you do it one more time, please, just to give everybody a chance to pick everything up again?
Do I have to also say the commas to make it a little bit easier?
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
来年、エジプトに行く予定です。一度の前、20年の前に行きました。2月の前にワクチンをさればように出発前に赤いの海でスクーバダイビングする予定です。そのところはとてもそのところはとっても静かで綺麗けど読みました。
Good. Okay. Thanks, Tom. And Roger.
来年、エジプトに行く予定です。20年前行きました。Sorry. 数手2月前出発vaccine. I've gone completely wrong.
Have another run up on that sentence, Roger.
It's okay. 来年エジプトに行く予定です。数手20年前行きました。2月前出発ワクチンをします。赤海でスクーバダイビングをする予定です。And this is where it's probably a bit more made up. エジプトのところでとても静かで綺麗読みました。
Okay, good. Okay, pretty good. Okay, just one more time, please, Roger.
来年、エジプトに行く予定です。数手20年前行きました。2月前、出発ワクチンをします。赤海でスクーバダイビングをする予定です。エジプトのところでとても静かで綺麗読みました。
Good. Okay. So I'm going to ask Asha and Annika to try and translate that. So Asha, do you want to go first?
Roger's son, I think, would like to go to Egypt next year with family, probably, or maybe not. I'm sorry about this word. And it was also something about scuba diving, but it was easy, but it was in English.
Yep. Okay.
Doing it, and that's it, I'm afraid.
Okay, good. And Annika, anything extra or anything different?
I think I heard something about vaccines, like getting a needle, syringe, and that he intends to do scuba diving.
Good.
And I also think I heard about how long he's staying, but I'm not sure if I understand it right. So a duration of weeks or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how many I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of that got through then. Patrick and Andre, you've heard this text before, haven't you? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So guys, as I said, we'll go over this in a bit more detail at the end. But both of you, what I'd say is that you are sort of translating words all pretty correctly, but you're putting your sentences in the wrong order. So try to remember that basically nearly all sentences are going to end with either the verb or des. So each sentence you look at, try to see whether or not it's going to be a state sentence or a verb sentence, and then just decide on what the verb's going to be. Then all the other stuff can go before it, almost in any order, providing the subject is close to the front of the sentence. Okay, but good. Let's go to Patrick next.
Um, 先週、茶道のクラスを見ました。とても面白いです。茶道するの人はゆっくりと静かに動きます。お茶を作るときはお客さんのために優しいの思いしなければなりません。
Oh, good, good, good. I was just applauding that sentence. It was good.
I lost. Okay. 時に抹茶を飲んだことがありました。とても強くて苦くても好きです。
Oh, good. Okay, excellent. Can you read it again, please, Patrick? Sorry, I was going to say, just for your own language skills as well. That was a nice, slow reading of it, but can you now read it a little bit more naturally for you?
Okay.
Yeah.
先週、茶道クラスを見ました。とっても面白いです。茶道するの人はゆっくりと静かに動きます。お茶を作るときはお客さんのために優しいの思いしなければなりません。時に抹茶を飲んだことがありました。とても強くて苦くても好きです。
Really good. Okay, fantastic. Andre. Was that Sado class very quiet, Andre?
先週は佐藤の授業を見てとても面白かったです。佐藤をする人はかなり静かでゆっくり動きます。お茶を作りながらお客様に大切な気持ちを見せなければなりません。その授業で抹茶を飲むことができました。大変強くて少し苦かったでも気に入りました。
Very good. Okay. And one more time, please, Andre.
先週は佐藤の授業を見てとても面白かったです。茶道をする人はかなり静かでゆっくり動きます。お茶を作りながらお客様に大切な気持ちを見せなければなりません。その授業で抹茶を飲むことができました。大変強くて少し苦かったです。でも気に入りました。
Really good. That's quite interesting that both of you kind of produced really similar expressions for most of these, that was really good. Okay, Tom, what do you think was being explained?
So last week they could do something and they did it a lot, but I did not get so much out of it.
That's not what I got from that. Okay. Roger, how about you?
So it was a Sado class last week.
Good.
I think I heard it was quiet and very interesting. Sado was very interesting to them.
Good.
I think I heard it was quiet and slow.
Yes, excellent. Good.
And after that point, my buffer ran out.
Yeah, it was.
And I didn't get a lot. Yeah, the rest of it, I didn't get a lot out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit hard after that. Asha, how about you? Did you hear anything else from that?
I think I got one sentence with drinking matcha.
Okay, good. And did you understand what they thought about matcha?
It was with the expression, with the experience of drinking for the first time. No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was what Patrick said. Good. And Annika, anything else you
got? Something with skides, so that they like it, but yeah.
Good.
At the end, some.
Excellent. Yeah, good. Yeah, cool. Right, let's go. Let's have a look at these in a little bit more detail. I have to say that the saddle one, I don't really have that much to add, but we'll just write down what they said because it was really good.
That was much harder than the other ones, I felt.
Much harder?
Mm.
Yeah, I created that one with you and Andre in mind.
Oh.
Okay, so Annika and Asha, you had the check-in, didn't you? Okay, so this was the English. So I'm just going to do my own kind of version of this. There are, of course, different ways to say this. There are probably better ways than what I can write to express some of these things, but this is how I would keep it really simple and easy to translate. So, ohayou gozaimasu. And then I think Asha, you said sanpaku, and Annika, you said sanyoru. So these would, sanpaku is actually the correct way of saying 3 nights. But if you said sanyoru, you'd be understood. You'd be understood. But sanpaku is correct. And then I'll just keep this really simple. Sanpaku no yoyaku ga arimasu. Just as simple as this. I have a reservation for 3 nights. Watashi no namae wa Fluffy desu, or whatever your name is. And then I think Annika, you said how you actually said nanjikan desu ka, I think, which is how many hours can I eat breakfast for? Which is a good question. I think I would like to know how many hours I could get away with just eating breakfast before they throw me out. But it should just be nanji. So asa gohan, or it's probably a bit more usual to say choshoku, which means breakfast. Wa, and then just say, what time is it? Nanji desu ka? Nanji desu ka? And then you both got this down fine. So hoteru ni swimming pool. So this is normally just said as pool, pronounced like this, pool ga arimasu ka? Really easy. Now this last sentence is a little bit tricky. And what we actually do in this situation is we use the format for giving instructions. So you're asking if, is there an instruction about taking the towel from the room? And the way you do this is actually really simple. You just express it in the standard mass form. So you would just say, heya kara, which is from the room, taoru o puru ni. You can either say torimasu ka, should I take it? Or you could say motte ikimasu ka, should I carry it from the room? And this is fine for asking for kind of asking about the instructions, the regulation for things like taking the towel. Annika, dozo.
Heya is towel.
Oh no, that's room. That's hotel room.
Ah, room. Okay.
Yeah. Towel is this word here. Taoru.
Okay.
Taoru. Oh, puru ni torimasu ka? Motte ikimasu ka? Just keep it as simple as this. Then you'll never end up asking something where the answer is completely incomprehensible. Yeah. Okay. Any questions about this one, guys? Nicht. Okay. Let's go on to the next one then. So, Tom and Roger, you had going to Egypt, didn't you? Okay, so this was the original text. Next year, I'm planning to go to Egypt. I've been once before, about 20 years ago. I have to get vaccinated 2 months before I depart. I intend to go scuba diving in the Red Sea. I read that that part of Egypt is very quiet and beautiful. This part, of course, is a bit more of a complex sentence to do, and I don't think we've done reported speech in our normal weekday sessions before. So yeah, it is a little bit tricky, but I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a challenge. So, Lainen, Egypto. And then you've got all these choices, iku tsumori desu, or you could say iku yote desu, or you could say ikou to omoimasu. All of these are fine. Okay, the next thing is stating an experience. Remember, we did this a few weeks ago. Tom, what you said was ni junen mae ni.
Now I know I did wrong.
But this is fine, actually. This is fine. This is fine. If you said I went 20 years ago, this is another way of expressing an experience. The only difference is that if you could express your experience without a time reference, without a date reference, and in that case, it would be better to say itta koto ga arimasu. But because you said I went 20 years ago, actually, what you said was absolutely fine. You don't need to put it into that experience context. But just to sort of follow that with it in the experience format, I would say niju nen mae gurai, approximately 20 years ago. Ikkai itta koto ga arimasu. So this is how I would be really pedantic and particular and put it into that format. But you, as you said, Tom, 20年前に1回行きました. This is perfectly fine. Okay, and then you both said Red Sea ni or there. I'm not sure.
First vaccine, Andy.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so this is the one where both of you got your sentence order a bit mixed up. So again, I would just keep this really, really simple. So at the end, there's going to be a verb, of course, which is going to be about getting the vaccine. And at the beginning is going to be some information. So the information that's there, the extra information, is 2 months before I depart. So I would just say 2 months before departure. Shupatsu no 2ヶ月前に, or you could say 2ヶ月前まで, make it 前に. And then we've got the verb, which is to get a vaccine. So vaccine, although if you pronounced it vaccine, the way we do in English, should be completely understood. Now, I have to. So, so Roger, how is this sentence going to sound like at the end? If it's I have to, it's going to sound like, if you have to do something.
No, brain's gone.
Okay, so it's going to sound like nakareba narimasen, isn't it? It's going to finish with the obligative. Now, the question is now, what verb? Annika, dozo?
Is it possible to make it with a tameni sentence because of a benefit, or
There's no stated benefit in this
Okay.
sentence. Yeah, it's not saying I have to get vaccinated,
okay.
and it's not saying in order to depart. It's not shupatsu no tameni.
Mm,
It's just saying 2 months before departure.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a time reference. 2 months before I depart, I have to get a vaccination. Yeah. So here, I would say if you wanted to keep it really simple, then this would be shimasu. I will do vaccination 2 months before. I have to do vaccination 2 months before departure. So this would be, of course, shinakereba narimasen. Shinakereba narimasen. As we've got a little bit of time, another thing that you could do instead of she is you could say, I have to receive a vaccination 2 months before. So Tom, how would you say I have to receive?
So I used the sareba, the passive form
Good.
of
Okay.
suru.
Yeah,
Or I
good.
tried to use the passive form of suru.
Oh, good. Okay. So this is actually the perfect answer. Is you have to be vaccinated. You have to have a vaccination done to you. So this puts it into this, as Tom said, into the sareru, saremasu, sare nakereba narimasen. So we'll do the passive form in the next few weeks, guys. It's not as important as just doing some practice at the moment. But yeah, this would be the ideal one. The other idea I had would be to say I have to receive. So I'd say I would use moraimasu, and then just make this mora wa nakereba narimasen to turn it into the obligative. I must receive a vaccine. Okay, and then we've got I intend to go scuba diving in the Red Sea. So Red Sea ni or Red Sea de. Scuba diving をするつもりです。Now, the reason why I've said ni or de is because if we're talking about scuba diving inside the Red Sea, then this would be ni. If we're talking about the Red Sea as a general area, like a resort, then this is de. So you can use either. It doesn't matter. Okay, then the last sentence is using reported speech because you're saying I read. So you know at the end of this sentence, there's going to be, as Tom said, I think, to, or Roger, to yomimashita.
Yomimashita.
Yeah, good. And then it's just a question of saying, what did you read? I read that the Egypt is very quiet. And so Egypto. And then I think, Roger, you said something like sono tokoro. Oh, sorry, was that you, Tom? Egypt no. Sono tokoro, that's fine. Or sono bun, that part. Wa. Totemo shizuka. And then what's the, how do we join shizuka to another another adjective? What's the particle to join? Tom?
De.
De, good, yes.
The form of an adjective.
Exactly, yeah. And then utsukushi or kirei. Utsukushi.
But me and Roger use kire, that means the same.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Pretty or beautiful, it doesn't matter. Kirei. And then kirei da, kirei. Yeah, this is fine to leave it like this. You can finish it off with da, which means des, but in a plain form. But if you left it out there, kirei to yomimashita is also absolutely fine. Oh, sorry guys, I'm going to eat my curry while we're doing this because I've got training just after this. Any questions or problems, guys?
Itadakimasu.
No, not at all.
Enjoy your meal.
Arigato, itadakimasu.
In my text, I left out the Egypt. I just used sonotoko because we're already talking about Egypt. Would that also be fine?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just say that place.
Yeah, Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Sono tokoro or sono bun, would be absolutely fine. It's as you said, it's implied that we're talking about Egypt. Cool, good. Any other questions or problems, guys? Nom. Okay, let's go to the much harder one now.
Now you can talk German.
No. Guten Abend, Annika.
Northern part German.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask Andre, can you read yours again, please, just to remind everybody what it was, and then I'll put the English up after that.
先週は佐藤の授業を見てとても面白かったです。
Okay, hold it. Sorry, Andre, hold it there a second. Patrick, can you read your first sentence as well, please?
I said 先週佐藤のクラスを見ました。
Cool. And then back to Andre.
The first sentence?
No, the second sentence then, please.
とても面白かったです。
I think, Patrick, you had the same, didn't you? Yeah. And then third sentence? Andre, sorry. Third sentence.
佐藤をする人はかなり静かでゆっくり動きます。
Thanks. And Patrick?
作動するの人はゆっくりと静かで動きます。
Great. And then the next one?
お茶を作りながらお客様に大切な気持ちを見せなければなりません。
And Patrick?
お茶を作るときはお客さんのために優しいの思いしなければなりません。
Sorry, Patrick, can you say that one again, please? It just broke off a little bit.
お茶を作るときはお客さんのために優しいの思いしなければなりません。
And back to Andre.
お茶を作りながらお客様に大切な気持ちを見せなければなりません。
And next sentence, please, Andre.
その授業で抹茶を飲むことができました。
And Patrick.
その式に抹茶を飲んだことがありました。
And Andre.
The last sentence?
Yes, please.
大変強くて少し苦かったでも気に入りました。
And Patrick.
とても強くて苦くても好きです。
Really good. Okay. So the rest of you, did you get a better idea as to what was being said now?
I'm still wondering what the Sado class is.
A Sado
I
class.
don't get the subject.
Sado is the tea ceremony. Channel you. Yeah. So here's the original English. Have a second to read it through. I've got 2 more mouthfuls, guys, and then I can type it out. Give me a second.
おいしそうですよね。
美味しいですよ。
Now it sounds logic.
Okay. So I'm going to synthesize a version between Andre's and Patrick's version into what I think is probably the easiest one. Okay. So, Senshu Sado no kurasu o mimashita. What superlative do you use for very? Patrick and Andre? Totemo or taihen?
とても
Totemo? Okay, totemo. Omoshiro katta desu. I think you put that into the present form, didn't you, Patrick?
Yeah, Mr.
Okay. And then you did sado o suru hito. I'll just keep it as simple as that. Sado suru hito ga totemo yukkuri to shizuka ni ugokimasu. Okay, this next bit was interesting, wasn't it? They have to show a feeling of consideration for their guests while they prepare the tea. So Andre, you used the nagara form, which means while doing something, they also have to do this. And Patrick, you said toki, didn't you? When preparing tea. So either's fine. Both of these were really good uses of Japanese. So I'll use the nagara because it was while doing something. So ocha o sukuri nagara, while making tea. Okyaku-san, okyaku-san, and then I'll use the benefit of no tameni. So that was quite a nice use there. Show a feeling of consideration. So this is actually a really nice word for this kind of traditional Japanese, omoiyari. Omoiyari. I think, Patrick, you said yasashi kimochi, did you?
I said yasashi no omoi.
Ah, okay.
I saw this translation, but I didn't understand it, so I just put it into something.
It would be completely understood. And Andre, what did you say for consideration?
大切な気持ち
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, a feeling of importance for the customers. Yeah, but omoiyari is a really nice. It's a kind of really old, traditional sort of Budo-ish type term, so it's worth remembering. It means consideration. Oh, and then mise nakereba. So just to keep it really easy. But I think you both used something different, but it was fine. I just want to use a really easy example of doing this. I also had the chance to drink some matcha from the ceremony. So shiki kara matcha o nonda koto. And then if I was going to say I also had the chance, I would say nonda koto mo arimashita. Just to make it clear that you're saying not only did I watch it, but I also had a chance to drink some as well. And then this last sentence, I think, was both of you got almost exactly the same thing. I think Andre used kanari, didn't you?
I used taihen for the last
taihen.
one.
And Patrick, what was your superlative? Was that kanari?
I used totemo.
Totemo. Okay, so taihen or totemo. All right. Tsuyoi. So for tea and liquids, I know that we use tsuyoi in English to mean kind of really strong flavor or something quite intense. In Japanese, there's another adjective which kind of means thick, but thick with flavor, and that's koi. Koi. So as it's an e adjective, you can use kokute, and then a little bitter. Well, I think you both use a different superlative here, but skoshi nigakute mo, as you said, Andre, to make it saying even though it was strong, even though it was strong, and a little bitter. Then Andre, you said kini haita ne.
Hi.
And then Patrick, you said ski deshita. Yeah. So yeah, again, I'll just to synthesize a really simple version. Ski deshita. Like this. Kokute. So this is kokute. Kokute. Skoshi nigakute mo. Ski deshita. Any questions, guys, about this or anything you don't understand?
I don't understand the nigakutemo.
Ah, okay. So this is from igai, which means bitter. This is an e adjective for bitter. If you want to connect an e adjective with an outcome at the end, a kind of it's not exactly a consequence. I suppose it's a consequence. Then this would go into the te form for e adjectives. So if you remember, the way to join e adjectives is to make kute in place of the e. And then the reason why we've got more at the end is this is to say even though. So it's kind of a reflex on the first part. Even though it was strong and bitter, I quite liked it. So we use more to mean even though. So nigakute mo. Yeah. Is that okay, Tom?
Yeah. So
for
however,
example,
although.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you could say, for example, samukute mo koto o kimasen. Even though it's cold, I won't wear a coat.
Can you put it a little bit up because it's
Oh
out
yeah,
of my
sure. Sorry.
screen?
Yeah, certainly. Sorry. There we go. Samukute mo koto o kimasen. Even though it's cold, I won't wear a coat. You okay, Annika?
So sukoshi is bitter or
Oh no, skoshi is a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
And kokute is bitter.
So sorry, nigai is bitter.
Nigai is bitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And koi means strong, but when it's
Okay.
referring to the taste of a drink, for example, it can also mean thick. So if you've got soup which is really kind of thick, then this is also koi. But if the flavor is also quite thick, then you'd also use koi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tsuyoi for strong we can't use for food, or
Not really. It
Not
means this
really.
kind of strong, kind of means chikara, power. Can't really use it. I mean, you could say it had a tsuyoi aji, but this is kind of slightly awkward Japanese. Tsuyoi is normally used just to mean kind of powerful, as in physical strength. Yeah. Okay. Grr, it means this. It means check these guns.
I had a picture in my mind with a soup with muscles.
It's super soup.
Yeah.
spinach soup.
Now you're showing your age there, Tom. Okay, any other questions or problems, guys? Okay, good. We'll finish there for tonight. Maybe, guys, next week, as you're the last class for this week, next week, would you prefer to do a new subject, or would you prefer to do this kind of exercise to do translation? So hands up for new subject. Hands up for translation practice. Oh, okay, good. All right, that's popular. Cool. Okay, right.
Can we do both?
Yeah, it's just the only thing is that if I'm trying to think of an easy grammatical thing to introduce, I'll find something easy to do, and then I'll introduce that as well.
Jack Sensei proposed the nikui and something else to add to verbs to make to get better or
easy
something.
to do. Easy to do.
Iku
Yeah.
and something else.
Good. Yeah. Easy to do. Yeah. Okay. I'll add that then as a little exercise for us to do then. A little new bit of grammar. So yeah. Okay. I'll put it in the schedule. Cool. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your evening. Maybe see you on Sunday if you're free. If not, see you next week.
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。また気をつけてください。
またね。
ウイルスをひかないように。じゃあねー。